Hey, stole your line, dog. What's up?
Did I come to the
Marc?
wrong channel? Oh man.
Man, my boy, we've been talking about this for a long time, and finally got you on here today on the Bodybuilding and Cheat Meals podcast, baby.
Oh man, cheat meals have been great. My thing's a burger. I've been burgering it up. I've been having burgers like every day. I have my two places in town, man. They do me right, man.
So
really good.
What's the places? Are they in Franklin or?
So Ground right there in Cool Springs and Franklin Burger Company. They make a good burger, man. So I'm on the hunt for just I'm a traditionalist. I don't put any crazy toppings on it. I want to taste the meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to get that grass-fed goodness all up in my mouth.
Hey, I'm telling you what, man. So I just announced I'm doing Boston Pro. I told you a couple weeks back, but
so when is that?
7 weeks from today.
Wow.
Hey, look at this. Look what I just got in the mail. That's how it's supposed to be done, right there.
How'd you do that?
No, they're done to everybody that's competing. You might as well throw your name in, dog.
Well, shit, I might do that show just for the bag. That's insane.
What was it?
I think it's going to be another package, but nothing's in this.
Oh, okay.
I've seen where everybody's getting shirts, pants, jackets, hats. I'm like, man,
that covers the membership fee right there, bro.
Exactly.
Like, that is awesome.
Yeah. So, Marc, meet my boy James.
What's going on, bro?
What's up, man?
Hey, we've done 32 episodes. This is 33, I believe. So lucky number 33. And I thought you would be appropriate guest to have on, not only talk about your recent IFBB pro card status, but also hernia action. So I thought it would be good.
Yeah, I'm the king of muscular tears.
Process there.
Yeah, when it comes to tearing shit in your stomach, that's what I do good. I do it very well. I'm one of the best.
So
me and Phil.
Yeah, tell him exactly what you had. I'm wondering if y'all have the same thing.
For me, you want me to say it? Getting a lag.
I think Barley. I think you're lagging, man.
Yeah, he's lagging. I'm good.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think Barley's lagging.
Yeah, he's got that Kentucky internet.
Yeah, he's got like dial out.
Yeah, sorry about that.
He's got the 28 point.
Right. hey, I got y'all on the mobile hotspot now. Hey,
okay, we're good.
Yeah,
we should be good. So for me, I had a diastasis tear. So that's where, your stomach, remember Ronnie Coleman's abs, how they used to kind of have that big gap in the middle?
Yeah, I thought
your diastasis.
That's what I thought I had. It's like what pregnant women get it.
Yes, they do. And they normally don't get it fixed. What happened is mine was torn so bad, hernias popped through. So I had an umbilical and I had a hernia right in the upper abs. So I went in, I thought it was just a hernia, and the doctor's like, nah, it's much bigger than that. Long story short, I have mesh and 40 titanium screws in between my organs and my muscle, which is kind of cool, but it's a hell of a surgery. It's not fun, but man, my surgeon did a phenomenal job. Like, my waist looks great. So I'm really happy I had a good surgeon. So, but it's a bitch of a surgery, and the recovery takes a couple years.
For the diastasis one?
Yeah, because it's just so major. You're literally implanting, in foreign objects into your body, like screws and mesh. And so it takes a while for your body just to adapt to it, the scar tissue to form around it. And it sucks. But, as it is now, what really helped is when I started boxing, I have so much scar tissue in my abdomen that a stomach punch really didn't affect me.
I heard you say that on somebody else's podcast. I was like, hey, he's got a little built-in turtle shell there.
Yeah, you can't, like, I could literally just get punched in the stomach repeatedly, and I'm like, all right, because there's so much scar tissue underneath the muscle that it doesn't affect like my wind or anything. Now you get me in the kidney, I'm pissing blood, but you get me anywhere else, I'm good. Like, I'm really good.
So what about how does it affect your vacuum, Marc?
Well, you have to teach yourself how to do it again. My vacuum's better now than it's ever been. In fact, I believe I was the only one on stage doing a vacuum at that damn show. I mean, no one else could do a vacuum in open bodybuilding. All the good vacuums were in classic where you are. So my vacuum made me stand out, but it took time, like a lot of different breathing techniques, like almost like Lamaze class every single day. That was one of my first rehab for the actual surgery, was breathing techniques that weren't loaded, and it hurt because you could feel the screws pulling. But you know, it takes work, but the harder you rehab, the better you come back.
Yeah, for sure. James actually missed his pro card by one spot last year. So he's very eager to get back into it and join the ranks this year. But you know, he's got this hernia surgery scheduled, and just trying to talk him through this this process. You know, it's a
Where's the
small
hernia?
setback, but
I got 2 between my upper abs.
Yeah, so those are pretty common. But you know, are they doing they're doing just a spot mesh, or are they doing a full mesh?
I think it's a spot mesh. I'm doing like, it's called like a robot. It's not larcoscopic. It's like robot something.
Okay,
It's
yeah, mine was laparoscopic, where they blow the holes and eight holes, and they blow the air in it.
Yeah, so I'm getting, it's like very similar to that. There's like slight differences, but yeah, pretty much that.
Yeah, I mean, your recovery, they're gonna tell you 8 weeks, but my doctor's like, you know your body, just don't do anything stupid. If you feel something pulling, don't go harder. So I literally started back in the gym the next week with 10 pounds on each side of the hammer strength chest press. And walking was horrible. And for me, since it was the full stomach, the worst thing was you had no core control, which controls everything from going to the bathroom to peeing to sex. So there's a lot of I mean, you if you have no control, if you can't if you can't Kegel, right, if you don't have the like, you're gonna bust a nut really quick. So it's there's a lot of things you have to teach yourself.
Maybe that's why I go so quick.
Yeah, maybe this will help you.
Disorder.
Well, for me, it actually, since I focused on rehabbing it, I'm actually way better now at all of those things. Yeah, but I mean, I instead of 30 seconds, I go for 47. But but no, it's you got to get it fixed. Like, a lot of people are like, hey man, do you think I should get it fixed? I'm like, if you don't get it fixed, I've seen dudes, like, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it takes away from your physique. It looks terrible. You know, just get it fixed.
That's what happened to me, man. Like, I remember like touching it like maybe 3 years ago, and I was like, oh, what's that? I didn't really know what it was, but it's gotten like bigger and bigger. And like now I can't even, like, you know, suck in my stomach because it's like the hernias are coming out.
And then it makes that little like crinkly sound when you push it back in.
Yeah.
Ugh, so nasty.
When you push it back in, it hurts.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's so nasty. It's your organs like sticking
I know.
out of your fucking stomach.
So I'm thinking, like you said, I think it's gonna make because I think my issue is my waist, and I think what made my waist go was my hernias.
Yeah,
because I was unable to kind of control my stomach. So I think that once I get this done, I think it'll be really good.
I was saying, if Phil Heath would have waited one more year for a comeback, he would have looked totally different. It took me 2 years to completely get over the swelling and the edema from the surgery. It was that bad. I mean, the swelling, and now, you know, years of work and all this different stuff and beating the inflammation of it, it was the best thing to happen to me, because, you know, it made me a better bodybuilder, and it just made me more cognizant of my core. And you'll get over it fine. Just, you know, it sucks. It's gonna hurt. Like, it doesn't hurt. No, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. Plan to sit on a recliner, sleep sitting up, but, you know, you'll get over it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I was with Hunter Labrada like last Saturday, and he had one done 8 days prior, and he was training.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't get the mesh though. He just got the other one that they just kind of go in, like, so.
And he was training. That guy's crazy.
Well, he was in like arms. He wasn't like doing deadlifts and shit. But
yeah, I mean, it can. But mine was more severe. So like, if I came back from mine, like a hernia surgery, that's cake. Like, mine sucked. Like,
when I was researching, yours sound is way more invasive when you do that the distal thing you were talking about. But tear apart and separate.
Yeah, because they literally take the mesh and they pull it back together. It's like, you know, women wore corsets and so that's kind of what they do, but with an internal.
Hey,
are you wearing a belt right now?
Hey, that's my little corset, man.
What are you wearing it during the day for?
Hey, I do it 8 hours a day. It's helped my waist a lot.
Does it help?
Yeah, it's improved my waist. Just, you know, the waist control. Just I'm not spending 8 hours a day just distending my stomach. You know what I mean? When you sit there and relax, it's really helped bring my waist in. Just be more cognizant of my breathing and my posture, and kind of gets me stuck there in a little small waist department. I kind of
Have you tried the breath belt?
That's what I was just telling Bartley about. Man.
I should send you one, dude. I used to wear it while flying or driving far, and you reminded me. I actually just got a few in.
Really?
Yeah, we sell them at Tiger Fitness. But I'll send you one.
The breath belt's nice, dude.
Yeah. So what they do is you put 2 lacrosse balls. So think of that belt, but lacrosse balls and extra pressure on your abdomen. So it cues your psoas to actually react. So that I don't wear belts anymore. I only wear the breath belt. It's fucking amazing. Really? It's fucking awesome. Yeah, it's next level.
It is.
Wow.
Like NFL players, MLB players.
Jesse was in the NFL, the inventor.
Yeah.
And we've become really tight. We met at a speed conference. So if I were you, if I'm doing that, like I'm just gonna fucking send you one. It's on me. They're like $150, but they're totally worth it, in my opinion. It's a one-time expense.
Wow.
Very nice.
You got to get your own balls though.
Well, see, I wear mine under my uniform every night at work just because I got the bulletproof vest, and the vest stops right here. So it's like you got that much stomach sticking at the bottom, which feels terrible because it gets caught in your belt and kind of like smashes it. So I just wear that, and everything's just tight, compact, and it also tells me when I'm eating too much.
Which you can do.
I know.
I was like, dude, I'm ready to go eat something. You're like, damn, I'm prepping. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I've been prepping since like the beginning of the year because boxing, trying to get my weight down. Then I go into bodybuilding. I'm like, and then I'm back. I'm like, December, like, let's go. He's like, I just started prepping. I'm like, you fucking kidding me?
Hey, here's the deal, man. This morning I was the same weight as I was 2 days out from a pro card. So I'm way ahead of schedule, and it's time to eat.
Well, you usually wait till the last 2 days.
I know. That's why this is going to be a new challenge. And I wanted to have you on just to pick your brain about how you maintained that for so long. I was like, man, I believed in you, but I was like, man, it's going to be tough for him to hang on that conditioning that long.
Dude, that's the worst part, man.
Mm-hmm.
My problem is gaining weight. I mean, that's my problem. My metabolism is so ridiculous that I'm finally up to 226 post show. I got on stage around like 214, 215. But I mean, honestly, I refuse to take insulin or use any of that crazy shit. I'm not that guy. Like at the end of the day, I'm a millionaire who has kids who my only goal in life is to coach high school. I'm not going to risk. And look, I know a lot of people take that shit and they do just fine. But I'm one of those guys who really, to get that weight so high, would need something like insulin. And that's where it helps. A lot of these guys are ectomorphs. Like a lot of these pro bodybuilders, they have super fast metabolisms and they take insulin because it really just helps them get down the food and it drives the nutrients into the cell. And it's very synergistic with all the other stuff they take, the GH, et cetera. But at this point in my life, at this point in my career, and honestly ever, and I know there's safe ways to take this stuff, but like, there's only 2 things that could, like, no one's ever died from a testosterone overdose. Have you ever heard of one? Nobody? Okay. But you've heard of people dying from insulin. You've heard of people dying from diuretics. You heard of people dying from DNP. Those are the 3 things I'm not touching. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to stay away. Yeah. And diuretics, I mean, you could do diuretics are much easier, like Diazide, Aldactone, relatively safe, right? But insulin just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Mm-hmm. And I'm not willing to take it to that level. Not at 41 years old.
If you mess up the conversion, like you just die.
Yeah, you just die.
Like if you're
that's so dire.
Yeah. Well, see,
if you
now
mess up the carb to fucking insulin, you're done. Like you're done.
Yeah. Well, here's the good thing now, and I've been utilizing it for several years. And Mark, I know you got your own. And James is big on it too, but glucose disposal agents. I'm
Yes.
like, that's, you know,
Yeah.
that's essentially what insulin is doing, but just in a safe zone, safe and effective zone.
And it's healthy. Berberine
Right.
has been shown to do everything. It's being investigated for treatment for viruses. I'm not going to say the name because you will get blocked from every social media, but it's being investigated. It's anti-inflammatory. It's anti-diabetic. Berberine, Banaba, things like that. I also take prescription metformin, which I believe is just simply because there's so much data. Even though the rat data is phenomenal. They literally just gave mice and rats metformin and they live way longer. Like I'm talking 40, 50% longer. So, you know, I know, but there are also some good human data in it now too. So my goal now is how can I marry my goal, which is to be an IFBB pro and compete with the big dogs in the 212s, right? And still live till I'm 90, 100, maybe 110. And that's where science comes in and everything we do. Anti-aging has been a focus of mine for the last few years. And I mean, I feel better now than I did in my 20s, than I did in my teens, than I did in my 30s. And if I knew then what I know now, who knows where I'd be? You know, it's just, we have so much data has come out on inflammation. And man, I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to marry the two worlds.
Mark, how long have you been on, let's change that question. How much metformin do you take, and do you take it like daily, or is it something that you take based on how your body's responding?
So 500 milligrams twice a day. So I take it with my first meal, I take it with my last meal. But here's the thing, I was so lean and insulin sensitive pre-contest, I couldn't take it. My insulin sensitivity was ridiculous. If I took it, I'd be going through the most weird hypoglycemic swings. But let's be real, like everybody who listens to this, they're not going to get to that level of, like, you saw how lean I was. Like if I ate one carbohydrate under, you know, my blood sugar would dip. Like it was just such a weird, I haven't been that lean in 8 years. So it was such a weird feeling. I don't think I've been that lean. That was the leanest I've ever been. But man, you know how it is when you get that shredded, like things go weird that you didn't know could go weird.
Yeah, I've seen James' blood sugar get down to like in the 50s, 60s before, and I'm like, dang, mine never gets like that. I don't know. I'm just built
like normal. Different. Like after cardio or something, mine's always like that.
Yeah, well, that's how y'all both stay so shredded. You know what I mean? You don't have
for real.
Yeah, you don't have all the extra glucose.
Like pretty hypo.
Well, yeah, I mean, my son's the same, Thomas. You know, the kid eats like a gallon of ice cream a day in addition to his other meals, you know, and he's 13, but he just can't put on weight. You know, he's wrestling at 95 pounds. And I'm like, oh, we're gonna have to go up a weight class. You're eating so much. Then he weighs in and he's 94 pounds. I'm like, okay, we're just gonna have to rock this whole little guy thing. You know, it's, but if you look at the best bodybuilders there's ever been, they're usually guys who can't gain weight. You know, like look at Levrone. He literally grew into the show. Look at Dexter Jackson. You know, there's a guy who dieted on potato chips.
Yeah.
It seems like you got like two guys. You got the guys that either are like maybe like a Nick Walker, right? That's just, you just tell he naturally wants to gain his body, just wants to gain weight. Or you got the guy like Dexter, and they got to go the other way.
Yeah. And there's a reason why Dexter was able to compete to his 51 at the highest level. Like you never see a hype video of Dexter training. Have you ever seen like the motivation videos? Here's Dexter Jackson deadlifting 800 pounds. No, man, Dexter's workout sucked, but he never got injured.
You just saw him in that cool Jordan cutoff he always had. Just looking at
jersey. Yeah.
But he also outlasted everybody. And he still looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him post a video last night. You know, he's downsized, but he still looks good.
Phenomenal.
You know, he looks about like Jay. You know, they kind of downsized about like Jay, but still looks better than 99%.
Jay's naturally a bigger person, though.
Huge.
He's gonna stay bigger. You know.
Yeah.
When Jay first started downsizing, this is like 5 years ago. We did that video of us playing football. Like Jay Cutler, the quarterback, was the thing at the time, like 5 years ago. And I remember Jay he's like, oh, let's work out. Cool. We did like a 14-minute arm workout, I believe. And it was like, so bad I had to actually train afterwards because he was trying to downsize. We did like 7 sets, and then he just did the stationary bike because he was trying to get smaller. And it was really weird, and he couldn't. Like, I could tell, like, because he's still like the same size. I mean, he's just a naturally gifted individual who's been doing it right for so long. And look at how healthy Jay looks, like from his hair to his eyes to his skin. He did it right.
Yeah.
Hey, it
So
makes me want to move out to Vegas and get those jaywalks in. Hey, looking good out there, especially with all the snow on the ground.
Yeah, he looks Jay's Jay. He's the guy. He's such a good guy too. Yeah. Such a nice guy. One of the first guys after I won to congratulate me. Like, he texted me like the next minute, you know, and Jay and I were friends, but we're not like you'd expect, like other like maybe he beat my family members to it. Like, Jay's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something that was pretty cool about turning pro. Is just the pros that would reach out to you that you don't even necessarily know. Like, I had some people that I didn't even know that were pros that just kind of welcome you to the league, which I thought was, you know, pretty unique.
Did you notice that? Like, they tell you that it doesn't matter if you're a pro, and then you turn pro and life changes. I'm not even kidding. Like, people treat you differently when you're an IFBB pro. And I don't want to like, I don't want to sound like overstate it, but it was a shock because people who were like kind of indifferent to you become more endearing to you. It's a weird phenomenon because IFBB pros, oh, you know, nothing changes. And then when you turn pro, you're like, dude, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, it kind of gives you a little, we've been doing this meathead stuff for decades, you know, and we'll continue to do it regardless. But it's just that extra bit of validation that, all right, maybe I'm closing the gym down, and, you know, maybe I accidentally, you know, made staff stay over 3-4 minutes because I wanted to get, you know, just that extra last set in, you know, and they're like, hey, you know, they're like, well, you know, that's why you're pro, I guess. I can't even get you out of the gym, you know.
Got the card, man.
Yeah.
It's just different because I've been a NABA pro, which was okay. Like in 2013, NABA was actually dope. They had Lee Priest, they had a couple other great competitors, and then they died. Like NPC, IFBB just did a great job getting them. They killed them. Like, it was a great business model that they just lost. And you know, looking the difference now, like, it's like, because it's not necessarily how the public treats you, but within the inner circle of bodybuilding, it's just different. Things are just different. Like, and that's why it's cool to actually strive towards something, and you get there and you're like, this is actually better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
At least for me, maybe my experience is different. Cause I mean, I've already been in the industry so long that I can notice any little detail that changes, and it's just a different vibe. Everything's different.
Have you done your research to see how many people's been pro in both leagues?
No,
there can't be many.
Well, I know that active bodybuilders, there's like less than 100. Like, bodybuilding, like, people have pro cards. Nobody uses them. And that's why for the Masters Pro division, people are like, well, why don't Masters Pros get any love? I'm like, okay, here, tell me the last Masters Pro that did a pro show afterwards that wasn't a Masters Pro show. Masters Pros, we don't deserve love. They just don't. And I'm going to say that in the most respectful way. Until the Masters Pros win their pro card and go compete against the open guys, they don't deserve respect. It's just, you have to earn respect. And so far, who has turned pro as a Masters and then done anything on a pro stage?
Who's that one guy? He didn't really get the Texas Pro.
Klahar. Was it Klahar?
Yeah, Klahar.
Yeah, he looks phenomenal. He's doing Boston.
Now there's one.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
that's
and how many people?
One.
I think there were like 200 dudes in bodybuilding. Like, I beat like 8 million guys at Masters USA, and these were good looking. Like, they look. I keep saying this, but I've actually become friends with him afterwards. The super heavyweight who competed, he looked. I saw him backstage. I'm like, this guy's gonna kick my fucking ass, and he looked so good. And I'm like, there were so many. The middleweight looked phenomenal. Like, there were so many good guys. And what we need to do as Masters guys, as older guys, is once you get a Masters Pro card, don't retire. Dude, don't even compete if you're not going to use it. You're disrespecting the card.
Dude, I'm a Masters guy too, but like in my class in North Americans was also top 5 in the open class.
Yeah.
The guys that did both.
And
So
then they retire.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of these guys who are masters, like their end goal is the pro card. I think that's bullshit because the pro card is the key. That unlocks the key to the magical door of competing on a pro stage, which is it's the biggest honor of any to say you are competing as an IFBB pro, even if you're placing 5th, 6th, 10th, 12th, who cares? You're competing as a pro at the highest level in your sport. Why would you compete for 20 years, get a pro card, and then stop? What's the point?
Damn, that was and you kind of just woke me up.
Let's go.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
I would want to do a sooner show, but my body just can't take it right now. Yeah. But like,
dude, are you doing the Pittsburgh Pro?
I'm actually doing the Chicago Pro.
Oh, okay.
July 22nd gives me, I'm starting like being like, I'm serious. I'm training my ass off, but I'm not measuring macros. I'm eating as much as possible basically. And, but I start seriously going into it February 7th, you know? And my body's been recovering, you know, I've 8 weeks after the show, just kind of taking it easy and not really taking it easy, but not going full steam.
Yeah, we know what you mean.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody's watching this knows what I mean. So,
there's just a difference, like a subtle little small amount between like prepping and like chilling.
Yeah. And for me, chilling means missing a cardio session here and there. And,
yeah.
And maybe a workout will be not as great, but I'll still get it in, you know. But I think, you know, we owe it as masters to go in. We can like do the open, see what you do, you know, see how you can place and utilize that pro card. I hate when people turn pro and they just stop and they don't even do one pro show. In my opinion, the IFBB should take away your goddamn card.
Hey, that's why I competed freaking the next week after turning pro. I was like, I'm not, you know, I've heard too many horror stories of people getting hurt and never having the same physique again to be able to compete and do their best, you know. And I was like, hey, I don't care. I've got nothing to lose. And, you know, kind of like you said, that magical key, like it's so crazy. It feels like you've been climbing this freaking hill for decades and decades. And once you get that key and hit the door there, you're walking right in and it's a whole different game now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And appreciate it's really the masters that have been climbing the hill for a while. Because you get some guys that are like, you know, 22, 23, snapping a card. Yeah. They've been training a few years.
You know,
exactly.
You know, what's crazy is that we're backstage and Jose Raymond brought me into the show. He's my coach, right? And he's obviously already competed in 10 Olympias, crazy, one of the most shredded guys in the history of bodybuilding, if not the conditioning off the chain. There's a guy backstage that actually got like second or third when Jose won, like back, like I'm talking like 15 years ago. And the guy's still going for his pro card.
Wow.
People grind. And the only show they do every year are these pro qualifiers, and they'll miss by 1 or 2 spots every time.
It's the worst.
That's how hard it is to get a pro card. It's so hard.
Yeah. You missed it by 1. I missed it by 1. Like,
yeah,
I missed it by 2 at North Americans, but I only was back since August. So that was like 9 weeks of being back in bodybuilding. So I can't really complain. I'm surprised I even got top 5, to be honest, but
yeah. I missed it by 1 twice in 2020.
That hurts.
That's why, you know, I won my class at the Olympia.
Yeah.
You know, got the sweet gold medal that all of them get.
Yeah.
No pro card. I was like,
oh, that sucks, dude. I didn't know Masters USA was only the overall winner. I thought it was each weight class.
Oh, is it really?
I found out the day before the show.
Oh,
and I was like, dude, Jose, what the fuck? Jose's like, it doesn't matter. You're going to that Boston accent. You're going to kill everybody. I'm like, all right. And then I saw the super heavyweight as I was walking off stage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like this guy is like, we've been talking online. I'll get his name, but we're talking and dude's like, I'm looking at his pictures now. Dude's 271 and just still shredded. And I'm like, how the fuck did I beat that guy?
Gosh.
I'm going to complain to the judges that it was politics. I'm like, how did I beat that guy? I'm like a big fan. Cause in person, like, and I can look and I can see why I won, and everybody can see the pictures. Like, you know, he had some strengths. I had, you know, different kind of strengths, but I mean, you look at some of the guys you compete against, like these guys are just amazing. Like, I love having respect. And the thing is, the level of respect after the show, whether you won or lost, no other sport has that like bodybuilding.
No. Nope.
Hey, Mark, what's his name? I'll pull him up on a little
Paul.
screen.
Okay, his name is Paul. Paul_H_112. I got to teach him how to have a really better name on Instagram, though. He could do so much better.
He's a beast.
It's the Masters. That's before the era. Before
he's got this fucking like this physique, and he actually, I already like talked great about him on my. I'm like, I can't believe I beat this fucking guy, and I mean, he was so hard, like he was so grainy. Look how grainy this motherfucker is. Like he's just big,
271,
grainy. And just as shredded. That's 271. Like if I was 271, I'd look like a fucking Cabbage Patch Kid.
Hey, you weighed 271 in high school.
I didn't look like that. Like, look at this dude's jacked. Like, he's jacked as fuck. Imagine seeing that backstage.
Grainy too.
Look at his legs.
That's it.
Oh man, like he just looked. I mean, to me, I saw him and I'm like,
Glutes.
dude, that tripped my mind out because you see that backstage and you're like, oh my god, I'm this is not my day.
Dude, the glutes are the most intimidating muscle to look at, man.
Oh yeah,
I know it.
Editors like, fuck.
It was, and even unflexed, he looks like he was flexing. And I'm like walking backstage. I said, Jose, man, I'm like, what's our next show? He's like, you said you're doing the Chicago Pro, and I'm like, no, man, like I'm gonna have to get my pro cards. You're getting it tonight. Watch. Like you got the symmetry, you got the abs. I'm like, okay. I'm like,
I love
whatever.
Jose.
So I was legit fucking shocked when I won. Like everybody thinks somebody was like, I'm unfollowing you because you put on that act. I'm like, I literally passed out and caught myself. Thank God. Because when they call you, like you won your pro card, like tell me about that feeling you get is like, whew.
Man,
Like, nothing else.
It's a lot of work. A lot of work went into that.
Oh, too much. Years.
Man, I hope you got a good video of that, Mark, because you'll never forget that.
Oh no, I got all kinds of videos. I got pictures.
Yeah.
Man, it's again, like I had one of my wrestlers win the other night. I'm a wrestling coach, and he lost the night before. So last night he came back. He was really, I had to text him. I'm like, dude, Will, I'm like, you're phenomenal. You outwork everybody. Like you got, like, just keep it up. Comes back, upsets a kid for our rival school, Brentwood versus Ravenwood. They call it the Battle of the Woods. I call it the Battle of the Rich Kids. So now, but Will, he came back from behind. I mean, it was phenomenal. Had a couple reversals. I was like, all right. So that's the only thing that gives me that feeling. But to earn a pro card it's different in an individual sport. You know, like y'all probably played football or baseball, and you've probably made some good team sport wins, maybe a title here and there, but it's different when it's an individual sport, you know?
Oh yeah.
The only individual sport I've ever done.
Yeah.
Well, here's
a football player.
Yeah, and I was always playing all these different sports, but my team always sucked, man. I'm like, hey, just, if I'm gonna lose, let me lose by myself, man. I'm tired of this.
That's why you became a bodybuilder.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's I love the sport, man. And I love what the Manions have done with it. Like I had legit gripes back in the day, but it wasn't their fault. They had these regional guys, like this guy Rope Man, and John Lindsay was also one. And they ran some really poor outfits and they did bad stuff. But the Manions, Tyler, JM, Jim, dude, I could not be more proud to represent an organization, Weinberger. Like people think I'm saying this just because I'm a pro now. No, I've seen literally throughout the years them make a subjective sport great, which is hard to do. Look at figure skating. Like you can't make it, like it's always fixed, but bodybuilding, I can't say I can complain about anything, even when I lose. And coming back and knowing the promoters and the judges, like these people are all there to make bodybuilding great. It's awesome. Yeah. It's great. I mean, I can't complain at all. Tennessee runs a great ship, the other states, I know the Georgia guys, I know the Cali guys, obviously muscle contest, dude, bodybuilding is in the best position it's ever been. It's a great sport.
Yeah, you know, of course, I've competed in Kentucky a lot, and I think very highly of all those judges on the NPC level. And to be honest, I've never been judged unfairly at a national level show.
No,
I never have.
Same.
I mean, hey, James, throw the key away. He was close. He had the conditioning, Mark. He had the conditioning.
There's so many variables. It's funny because like when I won the Knox Classic, I had one vote against me, but the dude had me in size, but the judges like conditioning that night, you know, and there's so many variables. There's flow, there's conditioning, and so many.
It just seems because I'm a conditioning guy. It's like what I can do.
Same.
It seems that like whenever it's usually always conditioning, but except for when I'm up there, it's like
they're like, well, this guy, today we'll go with size.
Yeah, I don't like that conditioning today. We'll go for the shape guy.
Nah, we don't like all the veins. Fuck it.
No,
it's insane.
I'm joking though, but like, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's something that reason why you didn't win.
Yeah.
Not.
And they usually don't know who, like locally, when I won the Knox, there were a lot of local guys who thought it was political. And it was crazy because it wasn't, because the judges had no idea who I was. They were from other states. Like and these guys, these are like a lot of these NPC judges, and this is an insult, like they're older people. They're not on social media. They're not on Instagram, you know, like posting selfies. Like these are just people who've been in the league, the NPC a long time, and they judge shows. That's what they do. They do it for, it's a job for them. They don't know who the fuck Marc Lobliner is. They just see me as number 13 or whatever my number is that night. And unfortunately, the only person, and this is something that Alan Sizemore says, he's our chairman in Tennessee. There's only one happy person at a show, and that's the guy who won the overall.
Yeah.
Hey, I partied with Alan in Bahamas.
Oh God, that must have been a ride.
Yeah, after my pro debut, we was out there, we had the muscle vodka pool party. It was pretty cool.
He's my guy, man. Love the guys out here.
Dude.
Him, Bino, like just the
Bino.
greatest people. And they were so supportive. Like, you know, and the thing is, like, if it was political, I would have won the state show, but I didn't deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
I got my just placing for where I was that show.
You guys got a good little community going on there now, Tennessee.
Tennessee is the next California. And I'm not talking about socialism. I'm talking about bodybuilding.
Hopefully they don't move to Tennessee.
No, they're everybody moving here from California are the people who are one of us. And I like to say that they like freedom. They like, they're moving here for that reason. Like my neighborhood, they make me look like a liberal. So I'm like, all right, this is great. In fact, we're going to dinner tonight with some people moving from Huntington Beach, California, who are literally, they make me look like friggin' Bernie Sanders. Like these guys are way to the right. Like I'm talking, they're bringing like 10, you know, like bags of guns, you know, they're
cool. I'm like originally from California, like just right now.
Same here. Yeah. Inglewood.
Okay. I'm from Thousand Oaks.
Oh, dude, I went to California Lutheran University.
Did you really?
Hell yeah. The Kingsmen.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
My wife did too.
I went to baseball camp there every single summer, man.
A good baseball program.
We had to run up that freaking hill to the CLU on the.
Fuck that hill. Fuck that.
Sucks, dude.
I know exactly what you're talking about, man. And then touchdown Marty.
Yep.
That's my school. But you know, I just man, I can't wait to see what happens. Tennessee, because the weather is very close to California, except for 1 month out of the year. We're gonna have more and more people moving here, you know, more and more people, and the fitness community is growing. We're actually building a big fitness facility out here that should be launching in October. So
really, tell me more about that. Are you allowed to?
Somewhat, but let's just say that I'm handling mostly but it's gonna be a combination, and it's gonna be, you know who Brent is, he owns Carbon Culture. But look at it this way. Imagine if you had a elite youth training facility combined with a hardcore, yet think about it, lifetime with real equipment. Okay. And then you have a smoothie bar, you have a cafe. We're even gonna have an IV drip and HRT clinic attached. So imagine if you have kids who play sports, they come in and they do my performance program, but what do the parents do? You just have to wait there. Imagine if you go get a workout in. Imagine if you go get a massage, a smoothie.
Man.
So it's a
megaplex.
serious operation. It's not just like, oh, here's a gym. No, this is it's a lifetime scale thing. So it's going to be a big deal. Huge.
Yeah, you took me to the first Lifetime I ever been to. It was huge.
Yeah, it's part of your white privilege to go to Lifetime.
Hey, it was different. It was different.
It is. I mean, when they provide towels, it gets real.
I thought about sleeping there instead of buying a hotel in Nashville.
You actually, they close at 12, or else I would.
Oh, do they?
There was a football player, I forgot his name, and he couldn't afford before he started getting paid. He slept in a 24-hour fitness. Literally went there, showered, like slept in the locker room. Forgot who it was.
Yeah, a couple of my buddies, like surfer buddies out in Cali, that's what they did for like a long time.
Yeah, I would be.
Wow.
That sounds like a dream come true for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Mark, something we do on the channel here, we of course we talk a lot of cheat meals. So
Yeah.
we play a little game called Marry, Bang, Kill.
Okay.
Okay.
With food.
So with food.
Okay.
So your options: marry, bang, kill, pancakes, waffles, and French toast.
Oh.
So what are you marrying?
Oh, I'm gonna marry French toast. French toast, when done correctly, is the ultimate breakfast food.
Yep.
And as far as banging, while I do love a good waffle, I do like the moisture of pancakes better. Waffles can get dry.
Yeah.
And you can cook chocolate chips into pancake, and they're griddle versus waffle iron. And with a griddle, you can add the little bit of oil, which gives it that kind of oily taste, that fat feel of your mouth. Like if Denny's does it right, if you get a really fat cook at Denny's, they put chocolate chips in it. And I'm going to marry the pancakes, and I'm going to have to kill the waffle.
Me too. That's what I go with.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, you just got to look at the cooking process. Like French toast, you got the egg batter, and then you could top it with Captain Crunch or something fun. But like pancakes, you can't go wrong with a griddled pancake. I'm not talking about like this healthy bullshit. I'm talking about like a real, like flat top, greasy ass pancake.
Hey, I love pancakes. That's what I would marry.
Cracker Barrel?
No, I marry pancakes.
Those are fire.
And consistency wise, it's gonna be your like bread and butter, man. But like French toast done right kills a pancake.
So here's the question. Of the chains of chain restaurants, I'm not talking about a local.
Yeah.
Who makes the best pancake?
IHOP.
IHOP.
I'm big.
I'm gonna have to go with Truck Stop Denny's.
It's been a while since I had Denny's.
Get a buttermilk pancake with chocolate chips cooked in, no sauce on top, at Denny's. It has to be a Truck Stop Denny's, either attached to a Flying J or a Pilot.
Okay.
And it will do you right. Oh, trust me, I've driven a lot. I know my Denny's pancakes. And Cracker Barrel, because they make it in the pancake will have 100 grams of fat. They cook it in so much oil.
Cracker Barrel does have a good pancake.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they have the pecan. Oh my God. Like I gotta go eat.
Hey man, I'm telling you. Hey,
after you're done with this show.
No, I'm probably gonna be in Nashville tomorrow night. I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking about going to the Titans game. So
God bless you.
Might have to link up with you either before or after. Probably after.
Yeah. So I have a 5:30 dinner, but after that and then I have wrestling through the day. But after that, I'm pretty clear.
Because I've already kind of made up my mind that, I need at least a big, large meat lovers pizza and some ice cream. Hey, I'm ahead of the game, man. I don't want to burn out. You know,
I get it. I get it. I get it.
You don't have to twist my arm to do any of that. Mark, listen to this. So I've figured something out, man, and it's taken me 20 years to figure it out. But I've figured out it's probably, it might be a little borderline eating disorder, but it's what I enjoy. Okay. And it fuels me in the gym the next day. So what I'll do is I'll have some pre-workout carbs, small amount, 30. That's my breakfast. Then I go to the gym. When I get back, I'll have a meal with like a cup of rice or some sweet potatoes or something, 30 or 40 carbs there. no carbs the rest of the day until bedtime. But bedtime is when the raccoon gets loose, and it's about 8 packs of oatmeal, cream of wheat, a couple icon meals, have a little of this, a little of that. And I go to bed, man, so full, so happy. And, I'm maintaining my weight or losing weight doing it just because I'm staying within my allotted,
Daily.
maintenance calories.
Sounds like
per
carb
day.
backloading, doesn't it?
It's backloading. That's what it is.
Yeah.
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 But he also trains early, so it's kind of like a good time to do it because he
Yeah, I
trains.
think that's, and then it fuels you next morning, but you're digested, so
Right.
you don't feel like you're gonna puke.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I couldn't do that. My stomach cannot sustain that.
Bartley has
Hey.
like an armor stomach. It's
It's ridiculous.
iron.
It's got a few, it's got a little vulture acid in it. They say if you run over a vulture on the road, your stomach acid will eat a hole in the asphalt.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those controlled like carbs throughout the day. I don't do well with loading. I don't get a crazy workout if I have a big meal. My body is my body, just kind of does its thing. I'm in a constant state of homeostasis.
Hey, that's more optimal for protein synthesis and just digestion and everything else. But
I like Bartley's better though.
His sounds
more fun. It's
way
more fun.
Yeah, I mean, I have been, I've been allowing myself some free foods and stuff. It's been nice, and my irritable bowel syndrome's kind of under control, so I've been enjoying it. I just can't eat fried food. It just doesn't sit well with me. Can't do it.
I used to be able to. Some in the past couple of years, man, it just ruins me.
Yeah, age, everything's going to shit.
Hey, what about ox bile? Is that something you could take to help you digest the fats in the fried food?
I'm actually coming out with one because I wanted one. I've been taking it for a while. And then I'm like, why don't I just make this? And then you got to standardize it to the active ingredient. So a lot of the stuff on the market doesn't do that. So I made sure to do that. So when I get it, I'll send you some, but it's an inexpensive ingredient to make. And I really like ox bile. It's also great for liver health.
Well, see, I eat a lot of fats, typically. I'm typically more of a fat guy than a carb guy. So, last night I ate half a jar of Barney butter, so that was 8 ounces of 16-ounce jar. I was like, better not do the whole thing tonight.
How many?
But
3/4?
that would, but that would be a perfect time to dose up on some ox bile to help, break down that fat per se.
Absolutely. I like it.
Hey, James, what's another food question we usually talk about on here?
We usually go best French fry.
Oh yeah, best French fry, Mark.
Arnold King.
Top 3. Give us top 3.
Okay, Arby's curly fries.
Ooh.
Bojangles.
Ooh.
And what is a third? I mean, you got to go with the old school beef flavored McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely top 3.
Arby's curly Q's. Can't beat them.
Those are good, man. When they're not like too soggy, but just a little soggy.
A little soggy.
A little soggy, yeah.
Yep.
They're good. But however, I feel like you can get burned out on curly fries faster than you can regular fries.
I've never tried, but I'm up for a challenge.
Hey, I did in college. We had this place called the Ranch, and part of your tuition, you had a card that you could go and you get so many meals per week at this little place.
You probably max
every single night. Oh yeah. I didn't waste $1.
Well,
every single night.
Red Robin has all you can eat fries.
Yeah. Every single night I got curly fries, big old container full of curly fries every night, because back then, it's all about eating, getting big, playing football, and here banging as a freshman with all these other studs, so I was tearing up in curly fries, man. But hey, after about 6 months of curly fries every night, I was like, man, I need to chill.
I think 6 months of any fry would be like, okay, I'm done with fries.
Yeah. No potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes in general. I'm going to rice or something.
Hey, listen to this. So me and the football guys, there's about 6 of us living in the house. It was total chaos every single day. There'd be people drinking when you wake up in the morning from ain't even been to sleep yet, you know what I mean? Just partying all night. And one of the things we used to do, you know, hungry football boys, we'd take some Tupperware containers in our backpacks. And we'd be like, man, we need some food for the house. Hey, we'd throw pizza in there, chicken breast, freaking fill that sucker up, boy, and we'd be tearing it up at night.
That's beautiful. I used to buy, when they were on sale, McDonald's hamburgers or cheeseburgers and put them in the freezer because I was broke. And I used to just feast on those for a couple weeks. I probably got food poisoning and diabetes, but it was so worth it. It was, at the end of the day, it was protein, fat, and carbs, and I just needed food, you know. And it was cheap. It was cheaper than buying food from the store.
It was 39 cents or some shit.
It was insane. Like, you can get back in those days, you get really good deals on stuff like Crystal, which was a burger place, 25 cents a hamburger. You know, you were able to really stock up on really bad food. You
went to Sirius. You remember Del Taco?
Of course.
29-cent tacos.
Oh, dude, I used to go after every football game in high school. I used to go to Del Taco drive-through. Yeah. I used to just go up there and just load up on like however much I can eat, get all the nasty shit. It was great. I told my kids that story when we were in California. They're like, okay, Dad, whatever. We don't care. They don't give a shit. I'm like, you know, back in the day, I was a stud. Like, we don't care. We don't give a shit, Dad.
My pregame load up was always pizza rolls from Godfather's. It's a little gas station. It's like the gas station pizza roll that are just. Oh yeah, at Minute Mark. And those suckers were good.
Hey guys, I got to go in like 3. Just heads up.
Yeah, for sure, brother. We've been on a good piece, man. I can
talk for another 3 hours, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I got energy drinks. I got another 2 in the back. I'm ready.
Hey, I got Powerade with creatine in it. You ever heard of that?
No. I'm glad they stabilized it in liquid.
Yeah.
Well, hey, what I was telling James, I was like, man, there's probably a couple specks of creatine in here.
Kind of like the creatine bang.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're getting your creatine from an energy drink or Powerade, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing it all wrong.
These were delivered to the police station. We got just racks on racks. Beautiful. And I was like, man, that tastes better than water. So
yeah, man.
Well, brother, I will hit you up if I make the trek down. We definitely need to train soon.
Absolutely. Just hit me up. I might take Saturday off, so that gives me arms Sunday, or I could do whatever. My recovery shit, so I'm gonna feel bad no matter what. So
same.
Hey, listen, I can't take a day off to save my life.
Same.
I need to.
Same. It's my therapy.
Marc got me all fired up, so I'm gonna hit some shoulders, I think.
Hey man, I'm telling you what, you're gonna win your pro card. You're gonna win it, and it's gonna be everything we said it is. Except you actually know, I was shocked, but you're gonna be like, this is the coolest thing ever, because it is.
Yeah,
it's just awesome. It is so cool. It is the best. I mean, I'm not even over exaggerating. It's a great feeling.
Congratulations.
Super cool. Thank you, man. And I'll be saying the same to you very shortly.
I hope so.
Good deal. Hey, Marc, appreciate you coming on. I know you're busy, man.
Yes,
Go ahead and plug all your stuff real quick, just for any new listeners that may not have heard you go off on anybody before on YouTube. Maybe they can check you out and
social media,
buy some protein bars.
Yeah, everything is at Marc Lobliner, outright bar. You get that at tigerfitness.com. That's my site. And YouTube is Tiger Fitness, youtube.com/Tiger Fitness.
Those are the best bars I've ever had, by the way. So
good.
Appreciate it. It's still growing. It's a fun little project.
Because you used to coach this dude that works out by me in Virginia, and he used to give me the bars every now and then. They're so good.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
So good. All right, boys. Y'all go kill it. I'm going back too.
Take care, y'all.
All right.
Later.
See ya.
Peace.